Did you know Jesus defines Holy Spirit? In Mark chapter 13, verse 11, the yellow highlighted text that you see, Jesus teaches sometimes the words people say are not their own words. The words are from or by Holy Spirit. And in Matthew chapter 10, verse 20, Jesus teaches, Holy Spirit is our Father's word speaking from your mouth. Now, I did some editing in the blue and green highlighting, and the word in, and I had to add the word through, because we have 4 examples of our Father's words. The first example, Luke chapter 1, verse 67, tells us when Zacharias declared John's the Baptist's life, these words had to be said by our Creator, for he prophesied John's life. The second example we have is Luke chapter 1, verse 41, when out of Elizabeth's mouth she declared Mary's son is blessed. These 2 verses prove their words were our Creator's words coming from their mouths. The third and fourth example are in Luke chapter 12, verse 12, and Matthew chapter 12, verse 28, where Jesus teaches our Creator's words will be said in their mind, and then they are to say his words. Other examples of our Creator's words coming to their mind are in the Hebrew text, where the prophets are being told to go out, and then our Creator will tell them what to say. Thus, Jesus teaches us there is no Trinity. I will be showing you here Exodus and how I find the hidden formats, and you can see that this has been done already. I done this in 2023. I'm updating it to match the format of my editing marks that I make. All the reds have been added. I've said that these are the words that are now in gray. I've added it to the text to replace other words and to make sure the format is leveled out correctly. And I'll show you that in a little bit. I just wanted to let you know that the old videos that I've done on this editing of this text has been posted. It should be, I will build a list at some time to show all the links to every video that I've done. This is the format that I found in Exodus. It's a 3-verse pretty much. 3-verse means that I have one important word and a second important word, and then I add the least amount of small words to make a verse. Now, the first one in a 3-verse format happens to be a statement, so I have a period here, and then I have a comma and I have a period here, that this sentence defines this statement. And then what I have is a repeat of the same information here, and what happens is these 2 now become grouped together. I call these small paragraphs, and then this is a small paragraph, but when they go together I call this a larger paragraph. And when I started putting labels so I can mesh all the books together, and I think I got now like 15 books that I'm editing that I have edited already for the format that have been put together. They're not quite in the correct order. If you read it now, you'll see that I've got it really, I just tried to group them really fast to get them pretty close, I'll say. And that will be in the description within a week. Maybe even if you're looking at this video after about a month after I posted it, it should be in the description box. What I wanted to do in this video, besides showing you how the format is and let you know that I've now got titles for the chapters. And these notes are still going to be here as far as where the text actually come from. And I had to change some words around here, add a few words, and then you can see the story is continuing. I needed to add these words here, get rid of a third word. I needed just two major words here. Needed to get the word boy here, and then the name of the daughter of the king is missing, and then his mother, Moses's mother's name is missing. Then you can see that this becomes a 4-verse format. A 4-verse format has those two major words, like I said, in this grouping for the verses. And what happens here is that these become sentences here, and they work together to make a small paragraph. And again, they combined, or they've done a second set, and these are so closely grouped together that I could call them a larger paragraph. But the story's going to change, or not, the story's not going to change, but the format changes here. When I make the marks like this, I'm pretty much sure that there's going to be no other text from other books that are going to add into this story. And it's just some way of me keeping track of when I'm meshing them into the other books, that this is easy enough for me to just go through and copy. It takes quite a bit of time to do this. By the way, as you can see, I haven't posted any videos for a couple days because I'm getting a few books together. I've got Numbers coming up next, so I had to add the word Lord and the word and. Here I've changed the word elders to leaders. These are the leaders of the tribe. The elders might be is a different meaning, I believe, because elders would be the very old or the oldest, and then leaders, you have got to understand that somebody is designated for the whole tribe as to be the head of everybody for that tribe. So when it says leaders, he's gathering 12 leaders together, and I've done quite a few of those. And then a lot of people don't know that Moses did not speak in Hebrew, so a lot of this stuff that people say that Moses wrote the first books, he didn't, because the story is right here that Aaron meets with the leaders, and it is Aaron who told them all the words YHVH spake to him. That means Moses didn't speak Hebrew quite fluently enough to get the direct message across. Aaron did. That also makes Aaron could speak both languages, Hebrew and Egyptian. Now, he also is very important for the fact that Aaron has to be able to walk in and just talk to the king, so he gets past the guards very easily, gets to have a presence with the king. So he has to be like the king's gives the message to Aaron to then tell the Hebrews what's going on. So that's why they could just walk in and walk out. A lot of people don't put these things together. Now they say there's no straw. Well, the object here is, I know that people are saying, well, where's the bricks that are made of straw? It's not that. It's the straw is what they're laid on to dry them out. Otherwise, they had dry ground, and you'd get all that stuff on there. So it was easy to put the straw there, and then as they dried, then they could fire them up and burn that off. So that is the reason for them having no straw. It gives them more work that they had to go out and cut the hay and or get the straw instead of being delivered to them. Then our creator is going to go through here and have the plagues. And what was also unique, as you see here, is this is chapter 8, and this is 8th grouping that I've got here. So pretty much the Exodus is in order, which is a little bit shocking. I think there's only one little part that's out of sync, and that's way later, but you can see all this text here that you'll be able to read to it. So let me try to skip through. I'm looking for editings to explain my editings, and I don't think there's that many in Exodus. Again, the word leaders, leaders. Here's the word that I'm using. I've decided, because when I'd done this a year and a half ago, I still hadn't decided how to use what words mean what words. To deliver them was to be delivered from an enemy. So this is when the Egyptians came up to attack them. So I'm using the word deliver here instead of save. And that's very important to know. Also notice here that group 14 or chapter 14 is actually, oops, why do I have 14 here? I don't think 13. Oh, okay, I see. So I should have done this number. 14 chapters in a row. These fuchsia color words were added by this 1977 NSA-B. By the way, this is the NSA 1977 text, and that's because I have a Bible program that actually lets me use the 1977 concordance, which is very important, and it's absolutely not. I think they took it off the market because once they found out what I was doing with their text and showing how corrupt it was, let me see if I can pull up a picture real quick, just because if you're new here, you are kind of like, well, why don't you show me something here? This is what I usually show people, and that is the fact that I click on the word which, the program shows me the Hebrew or Greek word. Then down here, what's dangerous, it lists how many times they use that word in here. And you can see which they use 1,924 times. And a lot of these you can understand, yes, they should be, have these meanings. But when it gets to the words like storehouse, steward, reason, powder, deadly, anyone, that's the dirty secret, that you can't go back and correct and put all the major words back into the text. I tried it, it doesn't work. Then I want you to notice here's the word soul, and it is you, and this is the actual word for soul. But here they're using it 7 times for the word soul. So that's the problem with this, or what they had a problem with me showing people this program. So now you know that the dirty secret, the Bible, is really, really bad. They are not editing it to tell you how to know more, or to inform you about our Creator's will for people to enter into heaven. I got some notes up here. I moved this group, move group. Yeah, I haven't decided what to do with this group yet, because as you see, I've got these two connected together, and those two are connected together, but this is sitting out here in the middle. I haven't figured out what to do with that yet. Leaders already did. Now they're going to battle Amaleks. I changed the word knives to spears because I have to understand that, look, if they're slaves, they don't have swords, okay? but they would have had knives to cut their food and stuff like that. So what they did was they made spears instead of fighting them with just their knives. And shields, they could have made shields by hammering out anything, or they could have made shields out of wood. So this is very important at it here. Not father by law, but it's a relative by law. You don't lose the father's lineage from son to son, and you can't have a second father. So the text will now read a relative by law when it's talking like this. If it's a daughter by law, that means the daughter is now put under the male's lineage of family. So that's very important to know. They didn't count by moon months. They counted by what I can figure out is a 5 count of 7 days. Because the first day of the year is the summer solstice when you look at the plagues, and then when the Creator says that this will be the first day of the first year, well, that's because it's an event that everybody would have realized at that time. People today don't pay attention to the stars' movements or the sun's movements. And then what I had to do is I had to correct a little bit about this, because once I realized that when I'm reading the stories, I added the word rivers wrong. It's hills. Let me see if I can get a quick map here of going into yes, this is going to be the best one I've got right now. This is actually Cairo. Memphis is Cairo, and it's also known as Or. I haven't decided what name I'm going to put in here. I think I've decided already, but it's Cairo, so everybody knows where it's at. And then this is the path that they went out. Oh, that's when Moses fled. Let's see. There we go. This is the path that they went and got cornered in by a hill, and then they crossed here. And then when they went through, they went past these hills here, or between the hills, and then settled in here. So the thing here is that's why they went through the hills, is how that word is there and why it's there. I had to add this. I didn't put it in at the other time, so I've added that text. It's pretty simple to understand. I didn't need them to be readied in 3 days, but 2 days, which would be enough to assemble the people and say eat ahead of time and be ready tomorrow for everybody to get together. I figured it's enough for 2 days, the day Moses comes down, and then the next day he tells them, and then our Creator is going to talk to them. And this is where we have the 12 commandments that are listed in Exodus. I forgot to bring that up. Anyways, yes, that needs to be. Okay, I made a small error there, and then I had to just add some words here to complete the verse. And I think when Moses shouted to the people, our Creator had him shout very loudly. And talking to the people, because our Creator was speaking from his cloud, and he would be able to speak, everybody to hear him. But Moses, he's down on the ground, so he spoke very loudly is the best way I could, why I added those words. And then we have a lot of laws that are given. I removed these two because I needed a 3-verse format, and I think when it means eye for eye, tooth for tooth, um, I don't need to add either or here. So it's, I don't know what I'm going to put here, but this is a 4-verse format and it's a 3-verse format. So either somebody had added that or I'm adding it into it by keeping what they added. I'm not sure yet. Um, and then the building of the tent. And when I realized that I needed to change the word gold is too soft to be used as rings to put poles through that these guys are going to carry everything on. So the rings had to be made out of bronze. It just, they can't be truly made to make it out of gold. Um, had to get rid of a third word. I put too many words in here when I was creating that verse. Um, this is talking about the 3 floors and how wide they are. The tent is a lot smaller than the house. I think they doubled the size, but what they did was they put 3 of these boards together in a row. So I wanted it to kind of like say towards the north this long, because we know the entrance to his tent is on the south end. So to do this, it's to be pointed north. Um, and then the other words didn't need it. And these words, when I realized again, I didn't have any words here. I had to add this word as well. I really messed up editing there. And then when I was doing the editing, I realized this was not here. The opening for the door to go in and out and make a room with an opening in the middle hung by hooks. Okay, and this is, then I realized when I'm putting this together that it is the 2 formats or 2 paragraphs that go together are these 2 and then these 2. So I needed to add another paragraph to smooth out the text, and this is pretty much his meeting room, so this text isn't that hard to say I didn't add it correctly. I had to use the highest priest, not the high priest, because I've noticed that when I'm doing Jesus's text, that there's priests in their synagogues, but they aren't really priests in the direct order of saying they're the higher priests that are in Jerusalem. And then when I'm using the higher priest, I realize that I have to use the one who used to speak for the king or handle the king's offerings. It would have been the highest priest. So I've designated that because of how the text for Jesus. I don't know what to do with this text yet, how the robes were made. I think there's text from another book that gives more of the robes. And these are some small editing. Yeah, this was a 4-verse, so I didn't think this verse was needed and kept the rest of them. And he broke it and it fell into pieces. And it's 2 tablets that he wrote on. So, or 2 stone tablets pretty much. And the word stone is down here later, so we understand that they are written in stone. Yeah, this is where our Creator rewrites the 12 commandments, telling them to bring you 2 new stones, like the former ones. So, um, Now here, this is the text that's going to be out of order because it's now talking to Joshua, because the story here talks about cleaning up the promised land. And here, Moses never makes it to the promised land, even though words like this are said to Moses. But here, I believe that he's now talking to Joshua. So I move this group up. Yeah, it's the two tablets, because here I have the tablets here, or no, here I've got make the two deals or two tablets, okay, that you're going to make, and then go up the hill, and then it stops, and then you would have had this text here. But then later I found this text, so if I moved it up here, then Moses came down with the two tablets. Okay, so it's pretty easy that those two go together. So I moved that text, and then here in the first of our year, everything was erected. That's the tent. And then now I have to reorder the text. So my editing is cleaned up, and this is how the text will be as it is when I put it into the book as a one great big long book. So that's just a quick video on that. I'll do another quick one on Exodus, and I'm hoping that this is just a quick one to show you my new editing marks in the text that's going to be added. I'm going to use this text that I'm editing now so I can keep all these edit marks and not the text that I had already put together from the other ones. So there might be videos showing that text being put together, but this is going to be the text now that's going to be used. So other than that, it's coming along pretty good. I don't know how many more books I got to go. I'm pretty sure I'm getting close to the end, but anyways, you now know what I know, or what I want you to know about what I did on my editing. Have a good day.